Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hefty Chef. I'm John, and tonight I'm going to make for you one of my favorite winter soups. It's a cauliflower apple curry soup, and it warms your inside on cold winter nights. And for Weight Watchers, I think you may have a point, maybe two. So you can eat as much as you want. There's really no added sugar. It gets its sweetness from apples. So let's go ahead and get started. What we're going to need: we need some chicken broth, we need some curry powder, salt, pepper. I'm going to put a few shallots in. I peeled and cut up an apple. We're going to do some more with an apple later. Some garlic, some onions, and of course the cauliflower. And just a little bit of olive oil that we're going to start our onions and our garlic in. So let's get that started. Okay, and I'm going to put this on medium to low heat, and I'm just going to put a drop of olive oil in here. You really don't need a lot. And I'm going to sweat my onions. And if you notice, my onions were not chopped very finely. You really don't need to, because the next step after this, we're going to either take this, I use an immersion blender, you can use a regular blender, and we're going to basically cream this as a soup. Okay, I add my garlic. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and just let the onions sweat for about 5 minutes. I just like to get them a little soft. For this, they don't have to be, super soft, but, normally I would just put them in until they get just a touch of clear, of see-through, and then I know they're ready. So, after the onions are going to be done, we're going to add the cauliflower, we're going to add the apples, and this is going to cook for about 20 minutes until it starts boiling, and we're going to cook it till the cauliflower is soft. And how we test that is we're going to take a fork and we're going to stick it into the cauliflower while it's cooking, and if it goes through like it's nothing, it's done and we're ready for the next step. So we've got this cooking for a little while now. So now I'm going to take my apples first. I'm going to put my apples in. Then I'm going to take my cauliflower and put my cauliflower in. Okay, and it's a good idea to make sure that you have a big enough pot that everything will fit in. Okay, this is going to cook down a lot, because as the cauliflower gets soft, it's going to reduce. Now, we take our chicken stock and we put in 1.5 cups to 2 cups. Okay, and it really depends how much cauliflower that you have in the bowl. Because the goal here, and now I'm going to add some water. And I'll usually try to keep this 2 parts chicken stock to 1 part water. Now for you vegetarians out there, my daughter being one of them, the trick here is, instead of using chicken stock, you can use vegetable broth. And it's still delicious, and basically the exact same steps, except you won't have any animal byproducts at all. So I'm leaving this here cooking, I'm leaving this here to boil, and I'll join you back again in about 20 minutes. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. Our soup's been cooking about 20-25 minutes now. As you can see, it's a very nice boil right now. I'm going to turn it down a little. I took my fork, I checked it in the cauliflower. Everything is nice and soft. Even the apples, which floated to the top, are nice and soft. So we're going to turn this down to a simmer, and I'm going to take out my immersion blender. I love my immersion blender, but what this is going to give me the capability of doing is I'm just going to put this right through the soup. And as you can see, it's pulverizing all the apple and it's pulverizing all the cauliflower until it's come to a nice creamy consistency. It's coming to a very nice ivory color. And I do this 2 or 3 minutes till it really gets creamy and there are no chunks of apple and there are no chunks of cauliflower or chunks of onion left. And it just becomes a really beautiful creamy soup. So now that that's been done, it's time to add my spices. You know, as I said, I'm going to throw in some shallots. These are Penzeys free-dried shallots, and it's just going to give it a little extra sweetness in there. I'm going to take my half and half. I use fat-free half and half. I don't need the extra calories, don't need the extra carbs, and I'm just, you know, basically put a dollop in. That's just going to thicken it up even more, so it's going to taste even better. And of course, everything I make has to have salt and pepper in it. And I'm just going to put some fresh ground pepper in there. And this would not be apple cauliflower curry soup, of course, without the curry. I'm using Penzeys sweet curry powder. Okay, and I'm just going to put about 2 tablespoons in there. And I'm just going to mix that up inside, and that's going to give it more of a golden brown flavor to it because of the curry. Okay, and now that everything's in there, I'm going to hit this once again with the immersion blender. Oh, is this looking really good, and really thick, and really delicious. I can't wait to have a bowl. Okay, and that's almost it. Now, remember before I told you I was going to take another apple and use it, and I chopped up another apple into smallish chunks. I put them in the bowl, and I added a little bit of lemon into it so the apple wouldn't turn brown and get bad. Lemon juice is a wonderful thing for that. And I'm just going to sprinkle curry powder over this. You don't need a lot. Okay, and then I'm going to mix this up so the curry powder covers all the apple. But this basically gives the soup a little texture and a little extra kick. Okay, and it should end up looking something like this. So, what we're going to do, if you excuse me, and I am starving by this time, and this just smells so good, so if you excuse me, I'm just going to take 2 ladlefuls of soup. Okay, and I'm going to take some of my apple. Okay, and I'm just going to put that right on top of the soup. Now, doesn't that look really good? And I guarantee you, it is very good. So, please try it. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Okay, and until the next time I think we're making curry. So, enjoy and good eating.